Alright yo, what's up guys? Today I'm going to be showing you how GYRO and LEGION make hard-hitting new wave rage / Zaytoven style beats for artists like OSAMASON and GLOKK40SPAZ. They recently dropped a tape together called Evil Reflection, and there's a lot of hard beats on there that are similar to the beats from OSAMASON's Flex music project, so let's get straight into it. So to start off, I use this inborn synth from this Octane Serum Bank by Starboy, who's a part of the Hologram Collective. This is what the sound sounds like, and this is the melody that I laid down. This melody is pretty simple. It's in the key of A minor, and the chord progression simply alternates from an F to an E to create this evil tension that is heard in a lot of OSAMASON type beats. I then added this top line melody up here, which is just going up and down the scale. And this just adds more energy to the beat. If you don't already know about Hologram, they're a collective with a lot of known producers who have placements with artists like Yeet, Trippie, Wheezy, and Lucki, and they got hella fire and high quality sound kits. The sounds I'm using in this beat are from Starboy's Octane Serum Bank, which are perfect for these new wave type of beats. It's got a bunch of synths, leads, and plucks, which are all perfect when making OSAMASON type beats. I then grabbed this Sleepwalker synth, which is also from the Octane Serum Bank, and laid down the root notes from the chord progression that I took from the first melody. This melody is pretty simple, it just adds some depth to the melody, and then I added this patch of portal, where I used this Tron preset from this Mirror's Portal Bank to add this effect and texture to the melody. I then used this Nordic pluck, which is also from Starboy's Octane Serum Bank. This melody is very ambient and just adds a kind of eerie and evil feeling to the beat. All I've done for this sound is add this patch of fruity chorus and then just turn it down the tiniest little bit. For one of the main melodies during the chorus, I use this Chaos lead from the Octane Serum Bank, and that sounds like this. This lead adds a bunch of energy to the melody as it has a lot of high-end frequencies which come during the chorus, and it just helps bring the beat together. I then grabbed this second lead from the Octane Serum Bank, which is called Hardcore, and I lay down this other pattern. This melody is pretty fast paced and it just alternates up and down the scale between the area of where the chord progression is, which is around F and E, and eventually it always comes back to the root note, which is E. The melody basically repeats itself the second time around, but some of the notes are changed when going into the third and fourth bars. I then grabbed this Bright Gram piano patch from Xenology and I laid down this melody. The piano runs in this melody are sort of reminiscent of Zaytoven type beats, and it's used in beats like Me and My Cup. Personally, I just love adding pianos to these types of melodies. It just brings a lot of energy and adds some variation from the synth sounds that are typically used in these beats. I then grabbed this Zaytoven bell and just added the simple pattern. Then I grabbed this D50 organ from Xenology and I laid down this repetitive organ melody. What I like to do with these organ melodies is have these triplet piano runs where it just goes up or down the scale, and that's just reminiscent of the Zaytoven style where they use a lot of gospel ways of playing the piano and organ, where they'll slide up and down the scale. The last thing I added for this melody was this Biggie Brass preset from Xenology, which I brought in occasionally during the verses. This basically just plays the chord progression and it's got a different rhythm compared to the original melody. This sound just adds some variation within the beat and makes it have a more triumphant feel during the verses. Once I put it all together, this is what the melody sounds like during the chorus. synth sounds that I used from Sunboy's Octane Serum Bank in this beat were perfect for making this style of OSAMASON hard hitting beats. I highly recommend getting the Serum Bank. If you're interested in checking it out or just finding out more about it, the link is in my description. Moving on to the drums, I use this 808 by Luna and I laid down this pattern. This 808 pattern is pretty simple for the most part. It's just got some 808 rolls and it goes up an octave a little, but it just plays the root notes, and at the very end it goes down to the 5th. The way I've achieved this distorted 808 sound in these beats is by firstly increasing the velocity all the way. Then what I've done is I've turned up this lower frequency knob on the built-in equalizer in FL Studio. You can do this with whatever EQ you want, but I've just used this one here. I've just turned it up a bit, and by doing this, it adds a lot more sub-frequencies that clash with the melody and everything else going on, which just adds a distorted effect once I add a soft clipper to the master. Then, to add a slight bit of variation, for the second half of this 808 pattern, I've basically taken the exact same pattern, but just extended the notes out and added some slides as well. Moving on to the hi-hats, these are extremely simple. I've just got this fast-paced pattern, and then at the end of the second bar and the 4th bar, I've just got these fast-paced hi-hat rolls. Then I added this open hat on the beginning of every 1st and 3rd beat. Then I added this other hi-hat which plays on every 2nd and 4th beat. Then I added this narco snare, as well as this midsummer snare, and I laid down the exact same pattern so they play at the exact same time. And this is the pattern I laid down. I then added this random glitchy perk. Lastly, I added this snare roll at the end of every 8 bars. What I've done for this snare roll is I've just slightly increased the velocity for this beginning roll, and then what you can do is change this bottom section down here from velocity to pan, and basically you can pan the snare rolls from the left ear to the right ear or vice versa by dragging it down, which will pan it to the left ear, or if you drag it up it will pan to the right ear. Altogether, this is what the drums sound like. Shout out to Sunboy for sending me his Octane Serum Bank for this video. If you want to purchase the kit, the link is in the description. I hope you guys found this video useful, and this is the final bit.